Hey everyone, it's you girl here with Uboy, and today we're going to talk about relationships, specifically Uboy's relationships.
Um, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Um, there's this one time, fairly recently, a girl named Ashley that we broke up, and I'm gonna talk about that today. It's a long and crazy story.
When did you guys
Um,
meet?
in August, so we met in college. It was me, Ashley, and Dominic, and we all had this one class together. Um, we were in a group, and I thought she was cute. Even before we were in the group and I started talking to her, I noticed how attractive she was. She had blonde hair, beautiful brown eyes. And so when we exchanged numbers, the first thing I sent was, hey, it's that cute guy in class.
You're bold.
Yeah, real smooth of me, huh? Um, and she texted back, Dominic?
No,
I was like,
no.
no, it's you, boy.
I would have died.
And it went on like that. I flirted with her, and she was friendly enough back. I didn't press it because I noticed that I knew that she didn't want to be in a relationship with me,
Wait,
and
so
so I
did
was kind of
she like Dominic instead then? Or
you
she
can
just
say that.
thought he was cute?
Well, in January we started talking like over Christmas break. Okay, so we went on Christmas break. We started texting more and flirting a lot. And in January, when we came back into college, we we met up one night, and I spent the night at her I spent the night at her place.
Did anything happen?
A gentleman never kisses and tells. Um,
Okay.
yeah, we
So you are gonna tell us. So things did
well,
happen. I feel like
well,
that's important.
we're two adults. We didn't. It's kind of awkward for me. Um,
Okay, you don't have to say.
yeah, I guess we ran home all the way to home base. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Oh
but
boy. You boy.
um, but anyways, one night I was at her place again, and we were just laying there, and she was like up on me, and we started talking about things, just talking, and she brought up Dominic, and she said that I hope me being with you doesn't like wedge anything between you guys, like me and Dominic, because me and Dominic were best friends, our best friends, and Ashley turns out was dating him like
That's it.
from August to December, and then they broke up in December. Um,
So that's when you
I didn't know
guys.
about this. Yeah, no, I didn't know about this. And by
So
this time, it was already 3 weeks in the relationship between me and Ashley.
so she kind of like used you then.
Didn't have a theory about that. I talked to some other friends, and they gave me this theory in my head, and I'll say what it is at the end. People could probably suspect what it is. Um,
But if you guys are best friends, like how did he never mention?
well, I know why. And Dominic had a girlfriend back home, like in his hometown. Her name was Catherine, and he kept it a secret. I knew about his girlfriend, but he kept it a secret that him and Ashley were messing around.
Mm.
And the reason I found out was because Ashley kind of told me, like, I hope nothing happens between me and Dominic. and how she was saying how she feels a lot safer with me than Dominic. How with Dominic she felt every time they were together, like alone. Um, she felt kind of on edge.
Wait, so did she know
But
about the other girl or no?
um, I think I did tell her about.
But during their relationship, she didn't know.
Yeah, she didn't
Oh.
know. She broke up with him because I only got I only got one half of the story because I never talked to Dominic about it, and he was suspecting it between that me and Ashley were a
So this
thing.
is still kind of like ongoing.
No, because we did break up. Um, then well, maybe it is true that it's ongoing because we still haven't talked about it, me and Dominic. Um, we we're still friends. There was a time that it was awkward, but Ashley one day was, you know what people when they ghost you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, she was the first girl to do this to me. So I went over to her place and I was gonna ask her like, hey, you want to go out for a walk? It was like 9, maybe 9:30, and she wasn't at her place, so I went to our neighbors, which sometimes she would go to, as her best friend. Um, and I went over and I know I went to go check at the neighbors, right? Um, I knocked, no answer. I knocked again, and the neighbor answered, like she answered and said, what I want, right? And I said, hey, I'm looking for Ashley. You know where she's at? And this is stupid, but she said no, and she said, well, good night, and I closed the door. And as when I was walking away, I looked into the window because they had a window right there, and I saw Ashley sitting there, quiet as can be, and I was like, what? And so I went out walking by myself, and I was walking for like a good 2 hours. I came around 11, and I knocked again at the neighbors, and
Boy, you need to leave those neighbors
um,
alone.
I knocked at the neighbor's door because she was a mutual friend. This neighbor, Elijah. Elijah was a mutual friend, and I knocked and I said, "Hey, if you see Ashley," this time she didn't even bother opening the door. I said, "If you see Ashley, you can tell her I just want to talk to her." And so I walked off and I went for another walk, and I kept walking until it was like 1, maybe even 2 in the morning.
If you don't go to
And so I like
sleep.
and then so I walked all the way back home finally to my apartment and went to bed. I just I didn't feel good, so I just walked. It was like in Forrest Gump when
Gosh.
he walked or ran across the country, but
I've never
I
seen
don't
that
know.
movie,
Anyways,
so
we should see and we should have a review on this, you know, channel,
maybe one day.
um, on this podcast. The next day I tried texting her, she wouldn't text back. I tried talking to her, she wouldn't talk to me. She would always try to leave the room if I entered, and I felt bothered by this.
Cause she was just
And I try
she was
to
just giving
talk,
you no explanation.
yeah, and I tried talking to her, and I tried talking to her, and eventually it got to the point where I felt like I was putting too, like even I was putting too much pressure on her.
Yeah.
Like, so like I felt like, you know what? I'm just gonna give it up. If she doesn't want to talk, she doesn't want to be an adult. Oh, I forgot to mention, she was 20 and at the time I was 18.
So she was acting more
Um,
childish.
she was, yeah, she was childish, and I don't know. She just ghosted me, as they say. I wrote her notes. I tried talking to her one on one. I tried talking to her in groups, but nothing, man. Um, but anyways, back to me and Dominic. Dominic would ask me questions, like, "Hey, have you seen Ashley around? This and that, this and that." And this mutual friend, Elijah, said that one day Dominic asked her, saying, "Hey, another mutual friend of ours, I'm gonna call her Amayas. Amayas wanted to know if you boy and Ashley were a thing." And Elijah knew that Amayas knew, so Elijah just told him straight up that if you really want to know, just ask, you don't have to lie about it. You have to go around making up stories. And so Dominic got real pissed off at Elijah, and and I knew this because Dominic would call her a bitch all the time. He told me this once. But yeah, I don't know. It was stupid. Um, but me and Dominic never came out about it. But he had his suspicions, of course, and I had my suspicions that he had his suspicions. And so I talked to my friend. I'm gonna call him Henry. Henry, and me would talk about it, and he was the other person besides you I confided this story to. Um, that maybe I was a rebound. That was
Hmm.
it. And our relationship, me and Ashley, first it was like we started off as like a couple. Then she caught it off, but then she kept coming back, and then it turned into this friends with benefits kind of thing. So we wouldn't talk to each other, um, like lovey but dubby. We just go right into the action. You know what I'm saying? And so that definitely, now looking back at it, I'm definitely was the rebound, and she was just using
So,
me.
would you have
You
said
know,
that that was an actual relationship for you, or
at first it was. We were a couple. We did couple things. We went on dates. We talked, and you know, we were we took it slow. And then it just took this 180 where she wanted to rush. And well, of course, since I was young and I'm a guy, I rushed along with her into like
can I
doing
ask if
things with
she
her.
was your first?
Um, my first, as in, taking taking the good
Yeah.
God out of me. Yeah, she stole my Bible
Well, I guess that I think that makes
to
things
put.
different then.
Yeah,
I assume it's different for guys than it is for girls, but I feel like, I mean,
we can talk about that too, and how like our perspective, because
yeah.
I'm a guy, you're a girl. But uh, Dominic, I know, I know it's just another thing for him because he's been. I think he lost his
Are
Bible
we even adults? We can't
when he
even
was like
say it.
16. When he was 16. Well, I'm thinking about like monetization, and not everyone that's gonna find this podcast is a
That is true.
adult. Um, because this is it's public. It's not like whatever. Keep PG,
Okay.
kids. Fuck yeah.
So, Dominic,
I think Dominic, he's I'm he's my friend, and I see him sometimes as a brother. And he's involved with another story I have with another girl that I had just a crush on and nothing else. But for some reason, I felt attached to her, and I think it was real unhealthy. This other girl I had an attachment to, and
I
that could be
mean, we
another
could talk about
story.
it today
Because
if you want to.
that one, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
part two. But she really left. I'm gonna. What's a good name for her? It starts with an M, like that, like her actual name. I'm trying to think of like a proxy. Martha.
Martha
I'll call
Stewart?
her Martha. Um, no, no, but for real, Martha like really left a deep wound on me because I think it was something that I built up in me. Because like between me and her, it would never work, and it was just a stupid fantasy that I built
Yeah,
up in my head. And
that's
so,
that happened to me too.
yeah, I mean, I don't know if she was my first true crush or whatever. Because I've crushes on girls, but she's the only woman, because she's a woman, not a girl, that I actually like had a
Like it felt
breakdown
like a true love.
because of, yeah, even though we never did anything, we were literally just friends, and that was it. That was it.
I
Like,
understand what you're
I don't know
saying
what the
because
hell
that
was wrong
happened
with
to
me
me
at the
too, and
time.
it feels embarrassing because nothing happened between us, but it's like in your head.
Yeah, you just feel attachment to them for some reason. It's strange. By the way, she was like 34,
You
this
boy.
Martha.
You boy.
Yeah, she was like 34, maybe
And
even
that is very
36.
unhealthy.
And she had a thing for Dominic, so it was kind of like a love triangle. But Dominic
So
didn't know
she's
about
a
it,
30-year-old woman
so it was,
talking to teenagers.
well, she's a cougar.
She's a predator, that's what she is.
Well, well, maybe. I'll talk about Martha later, because that is a whole another can of worms to break out and go fishing with. Um, but let's talk about Ashley and my relationship. What do you think went
Rebound.
down?
It
Yeah, me
happened the
too. I
very
think so.
next month. I think she was just trying. But if she felt uncomfortable around Dominic, like,
Maybe it was just a story that she made up, because if now that I think about it, maybe she wasn't so honest. Although she did give me a compliment, which did make me happy. And this is a legitimate compliment that let's just say my pencils are better than
I
Dominic's
knew it.
pencils. Um, and I also knew this because I did something stupid. I eavesdropped on a conversation she had
How
with
did
our
you do
neighbor,
that?
our mutual friend. So my neighbor, okay, so her neighbor, dang it, our neighbor is my right next door neighbor, and
Uh,
directly across from her, from Ashley. So imagine it's my apartment and then our neighbors
uh-huh.
right next to it, and then Ashley's is right across from our neighbors. So my restroom wall is connected to her
And you
living
can
room
hear
wall,
everything?
kind of thing. I had to use a cup and put it against the wall. And like in my restroom, I can hear my neighbor play music sometimes if it's loud enough. And so I bear like, okay, so I got up to use the restroom one night and I heard kind of like a faint voice talking, and it was Ashley. And this is the time when she was ghosting me. And so I got a cup because I was trying to listen, and I was like, it's like so it sounds so mumbled and um muffled. And so I got a cup, and that kind of cleared it up a little, and I heard
Oh
them talking
my
about
god.
me. And then and a little bit into the conversation between them, they mentioned like, who's bigger? Like our neighbor asked. I don't know why. Um, and she said that I was, and that was surprising to her. That I had better pencils apparently. Um, I don't
That
know.
movie. The fact that you got a cup and you were able to
It
figure
could
out what
be.
they were saying.
It was kind of hard. I was standing there for like
That,
maybe
oh
40,
my
30
gosh.
minutes, like just listening to their conversation. I know. I eventually even got tired of standing, and I was sitting there against the right. It was stupid of me, I guess, because I wanted to know why she broke up with me. or like why she was ghosting me, you know? I was
Have
just desperate at
you
the
have
time.
you talked to her since
I
then?
feel my other friend, I'm gonna call him T Man. The T Man, he needed help
Oh
organizing.
yeah.
You know that program Zoom? He needed help at school at another college campus,
Hmm.
that separate from the one we went to. She was a TA there, and so for her work, she dealt with Zoom a lot. So I kind of plugged them together, kind of like, hey, can you help out T Man? Because we both knew T Man, and she was like, oh yeah. And that was the last time I had contact with her.
So you guys never talked it
Um,
out?
yeah,
She just
no,
ghosted
we
you,
never did.
man.
I do think I should talk it out with Dominic, but at this point, I don't think Dominic would care
I
or even
mean,
show
if
that he would
him and
care.
her were dating like over 6 months ago, maybe he's over it by now.
And of course,
So
he had
he
his girl back
was
home,
cheating.
Catherine.
Then he shouldn't even be
Cheating on Catherine,
mad.
yes. Yeah. Anyways, now that I'm thinking about it, about the whole rebound thing, something that she would always talk about was Dominic and how Dominic would never share his feelings
Hmm.
like to her. Yeah, and that was just one thing I thought of right now. Got any questions about
People are
Ashley or me?
confusing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
because I've had friends who have ghosted me, so if I was like in a relationship with someone, like would not know what to do.
Yeah, well, it's too late now. I mean, I'm still looking for a lady out there. Any lucky ladies out there listening? I'm available, single, you boy, ready to mingle.
I mean, what can we say? It definitely was a rebound situation, but I don't know. Why can't people just like talk about their feelings? And like it was so obvious that
Oh,
you were trying to like make things work. If she like really didn't want it to, why couldn't she just say like, "Hey, don't talk to me anymore." Like it's not that hard.
I don't know. I really don't know why she never wanted to talk. And I'm telling you, I really did try. And I tried so much that I got to the point where I felt like I
I
was
mean,
pushing it
going
too
on walks
much.
until 2 in the morning, like
Um,
I love you, ma lo so. I love you, che per te io sono un ragazzo in rock and roll. Solo questo e nulla più.